Hi everyone. So I wanted to make this quick video just to say that um, you know maybe I'm just confused. Maybe all this technology and wisdom and information on the web is affecting the way that I think, and obviously it is. Um, but maybe also I'm thinking of myself like too highly of myself, which is pride. Because don't think highly of yourself, scripture. Because there's a scripture mm, right here, Proverbs 3:7. I love this voice search option. And it says, think not highly of yourselves than we ought. Um, do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. Um, anyway, I'm just thinking maybe, see, because all this information I learned obviously through school and then by the books that I've read, um, the Bible. I've read the Bible from cover to cover multiple times, and also internet and a bunch of YouTube videos. So, and then like a year ago, I got beat up, jumped. I don't know. I blacked out, and so I was thinking maybe that had an impact on like the wiring of my brain where it got um, messed up or something, and it got the information that I had in my brain mixed up because I'm no one. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a demon. I'm not Lucifer. I'm just another person. That's all I am. And that's all I want to be. I don't know. I was watching a movie right now. I think it's called Clean. Clean. Yeah, Clean. Look it up. Mm, I don't know. Maybe, maybe I'm, maybe I'm searching for the wrong one. This is. I don't see the. Anyway, I don't see it. But I don't know. Just it's not even the movie. Honestly, it's just I think it's just just going through life and like I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that it bothers me. There's people that don't even have electricity, and we fail to realize that we don't even care. We have grown so accustomed to our surroundings that we don't care about other people and what they're going through, besides our own problems and what we're going through. And that's why, I don't know, it stresses me out. And, I thought that I came up with a solution for this just by meditating, stressing out, entertaining a specific idea. Just it's so simple that even a child could do it. It's just like taking a sentence like, I'm gonna go to the park, period. Now, by taking that sentence and meditating on that and thinking about what you could do at the park. Okay, so what can you do at a park? And you just think about all the things that you could do at the park. And if you go, you see a lot of people doing many things, many activities. Maybe you could come up with your own. Maybe something that's not there. There is no limits. You see? So that's what I did with this electricity thing. And I just, everyone knows that I don't have wealth or a lot of money, but I am blessed. I have a room that I'm renting, I have clothing, I have a vehicle that runs. Thank God I have a job that can maintain the problems that arise in everyday life, like my vehicle having problems and not running properly or whatnot. And I was thinking, there's people without electricity. There's people without, there's communities and countries without power. And I was thinking, what if we were to provide? I was thinking mentally, what can we do as a human race to provide electricity to the world around us? Now, we might not be able to give people and individually power, like electricity power, like light bulb, but we can in public streets, like we have here in California, within the United States, right? So I believe everyone should have that, and I think that was like Edison and Nikola Tesla's dream was to provide all of us with electricity and light, not just for those that could afford it, not just for some people that happen to grow up in California or in the United States or in a rich community where it's just normal to have these or this luxury, whatever, you know, because without it, we're really nothing. And it's I know I've spoken about and I've posted a idea on Facebook where I'm allowed to post stuff freely without having to buy a website and then paying for the fees to maintain it and to keep it up online, right? So that's why I use Facebook. That's the only reason why I use Facebook, or else I probably would have never used Facebook, honestly. So I love Facebook for that. I love Facebook and everything that they're doing. So that's what I use. So anyway, on Facebook, Invent or Don't Invent, it's a page I created. I posted this idea where we could use it like a drill, like an engine that will spin through power, and then the like the axle thing, kind of like what you would put into a drill to drill into a wall or whatever, or drill a screw in. This thing that spins, I was thinking to put magnets evenly spaced out. And when this thing spins, it'll spin this long axle thing that will act like an axle. And as it spins, it will produce, each magnet, I'm assuming, will produce 1 volt. Because we could go online right now and I could actually show you guys through this video some examples of people creating a little bit of electricity in a few volts with a small windmill. And we could check that out right now. videos. And personally, I like going to YouTube because, like Facebook, YouTube is also free.
Shopping for a car?
It's also free, and you don't have to pay for any updates to keep your account up on the web like you would like on paying for storage or something, you know, or like a rent or like a monthly bill. It's nothing like that. So I came on here, I created a free account, and it looks like I'm logged out, signed out for some reason. Oh, I don't need to log in right now, so I'm not even gonna try windmill. One. See, and this one, typical power output of a small wind turbine. Well, this is kind of big. See, like this, something small.
Can my side be firm? And my side's super soft. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort.
So here, someone is building a windmill. It's super easy to do. See, and right here, he's recording the voltage, and it's actually positively 1.13 volts. He just has this reversed, or over here reversed, and see, and there's this bigger one that I clicked on at first, and it produces 12.66 volts, and that's this one here. Now, there's a lot of possibilities, variations, and I really don't want to get into every single one of them because it'll send me into a black hole, and I'll probably never come out of it. And you guys will get so confused. You'll probably click out of this video. Now, you could buy a battery, 12 volts. And you could have that thing running to produce more or to store more energy. See, I'm already starting to think. I'm trying to not think about how to solve anything right now, but mainly just focusing on my main points and that I just want to throw out. And the main thing that I was talking about going back was providing electricity to the world. Now, by that I mean like public streets and stuff, where there's electricity, there's power, and the city provides that light for the people. And the people probably do spend money to keep that light going. Now, what if my theory is right, which I believe is right, about this generating electricity, which will reduce the cost of producing electricity, which in turn will lower your monthly bills, electricity bill. No, for like in the city bill. It'll be less money to power like public lighting, which in turn allow us to add more lights for the same cost per se. And every month we could buy a few more lights, light posts, install them, power them. A few months after that, the same process, and eventually it'll equal to the same amount to what we're all paying for now for just a fraction of the light. So we'll still be paying the same amount for more light. And not just necessarily in our own cities, but maybe we could take that and give light to other people around the world and places where there is no light. Because this light will be direct current, directly driven, directly taken from the battery in tank to the streets, not storing it whatsoever, unless for other reasons. But this is specifically for for people that have no lighting and see. And then I guess if this is true, then we could also jump into the storage of electricity and the capacity of it. It could be increased or decreased depending on what's we're trying as a people trying to achieve, or what what the engineers are trying to do. And once a few minds go into this black hole, vertical black hole of thinking and coming up with possibilities and a bunch of other avenues of how a certain thing could be accomplished for this one specific subject, then anything that we set our minds to can be achieved. Anything. So this is on the contingency that producing electricity or generating electricity is not sufficient enough. And I don't know, just there's just too many things that I could do. And every time I try to do something, it's like this energy comes up over me and directs me out of it to focus on what's more beneficial or more duralast. I don't even know if that makes sense. But what will matter in the future, not now. And I mean, if this stuff works, it will do so much good for everyone. And like I said, there's so many black holes we could jump into, and I'm just using that as a metaphor. So many categories we could jump into and discuss. And there's so many I want to jump into. It's like a pool, not only filled with water, but many flavors. And I'm the only one that can go in them. Which one am I going to dive into first? And anyone could do this. We all can. There is no limit. It's not limited by reason or by logic or anything. This is a blank canvas, like Photoshop, like UDoodle, like InDesign, like iMovie. In a way, you get to create whatever you want. You get to do whatever you want. Mentally, in your mind. And these voices in my mind, they torment me. And they tell me that I'm a liar, that I'm an abuser, that I'm a manipulator, that I'm a cheater, that I'm not worthy, that a bunch of things, a bunch of things. So I distance myself. On purpose, because I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. My thought is the less in contact I am with people, the less mistakes I could do, and the better it is for me and them. So I try to do that as much as possible. And then I have to go outside of this house where I'm renting, and I have to step out of that front door to face reality. And when I'm out there, I have to be around people. Not that I don't like anyone. I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm, like manipulating anyone. I hate myself for that. If I am, I hate myself for hurting people because I have. You know? I understand that everything around us is temporary. Everything is growing. Yesterday was the past. Today is the future. And every day that is today is the future. And every yesterday was history. So even as humans, we're always growing, always developing. That's why people get older and eventually pass away from old age, or different other like things, right? Deaths. But we don't cease to exist. We continue living because we stepped into a new life that will continue to grow always for all eternity. That's why things get outdated and new things come to the market because we're always growing, always advancing, always evolving, whether we like it or not. It's always happening, it's happening right now. That flower in your tree just died, a new one is growing. All these house developments were the thing back in the day, but now they look like run down shacks like this one right here in this image. And the newer ones look like mansions, beautiful. And now these older ones, I mean, they're so old that I'm surprised they haven't even fallen. There's probably termites and all kinds of bacteria and algae growth that it would probably be better just to burn it down and restore it, renew that. But that will be a recycling door, evolving door that will always occur. So we will then be reinventing the wheel in a way, though. And by that I mean by that I'm not too loose anymore, but by that I mean in a way because the newer homes have newer stuff, newer inventions, newer ideas implemented into the home than back in the days when it was just a box or a cave, you know? So we are in a way just wasting our time. Statistically, looking back, we're wasting our time. But it's okay, it's part of life. You know, and not just that, but then there's natural um, disasters that occur by Mother Nature. And that's also okay because it's part of life. But we see in that not everything is like written in stone or permanent. Everything is always growing and evolving. So that's why I keep stressing, the fact that we should start growing more fruit trees around the world to feed each other. I mean, and this one I do really want to dive into a little bit, not too much. Just because of the health benefits, the sickness reduction, um, and then the cost of the the fruit and vegetables that we purchase in stores, just like the electricity idea, is the same way with the cost of the fruits and vegetables, because if we have these things in abundance, then that will mean that the cost will be condensed, so it'll be smaller. So you will get more for your money, more for your buck. So, and then also it will give us more creative ideas to not only to produce more. It will give us more, inspire us to give us. It will inspire us to create and introduce newer products on the market that are more healthier for us. Because we all love sweets, and we all know that by the obesity problem right now, and all the sugary items that are in the stores, which is okay. And I'm getting to that right now. Like with these fruits, we can still have that, but more healthier. You see? So it's not really, oh, let's take all this shit out because it's killing everyone. No, let's try this instead because it's still good tasting. It still has sugar content. It still makes people happy. And it'll keep you alive longer and as an individual, and it'll keep the rest of the world healthier for the whole economy, for the whole world, for every life on earth, not just the human race. So you know come on, let's think about this. You own a, let's assume you own a commercial property and you pay for that water to irrigate that property. How much money are you spending monthly on average? Then think about how many other people are doing the same thing with just around you, but different business niche or different business altogether. But they have that same bill, and then take that outside of your state, take that outside of your country, take that to the whole world. We're spending a lot of money and irrigating the land with clean, filtered, clean water, and in a way, it's just getting wasted in a way because these other trees are probably giving us oxygen and other stuff that, obviously I don't know. And I'm not saying all trees are bad. I'm just saying it would be good for us to add more fruit trees and and stuff like that um, to the world and to our communities, so that we can feel a sense of accomplishment now, you know, um, and we're really expanding the Garden of Eden, as the Bible explains. And the Garden of Eden obviously had a lot of fruits and vegetables and food that Mother Nature provided for us. So we wouldn't have to really work and toil for it. You know, because if you think about it, we're living under the curse and striving so hard just to eat and stuff like that. See, so another thing was when you go to the store, you have the fruit, uh, dishes, um, so you go shopping, um, and see, like even this, $5.99 for this. This should be $1 right out the bat. We would have so much fruit, so much vegetables, like fish in the ocean. Like bags of rice. And I forgot the right name for the bags, but so much. And think about it. With one of these, I'm talking about you eat a plate of this or a cup of this and you're getting full because you're buying like a pound or two for $1 of nothing but mixed fruits or just one type of fruit and consuming that. Now, I believe this is what God wants for us as a human race. Personally, that's what I've concluded to by reading the Bible, going to church. All these churches are advertising donate money because these people are hungry, and it's a problem on a global scale. And maybe it was way worse back in 2 years ago or 10 years ago, and it was. And it's much better now, and it's only getting better and better and better. I'm not talking crap about churches and organizations and like nonprofits or whatever that are really trying and making an effort to make a difference. You know, see, and just by saying that, I just lost track. But it's really us providing for each other, not just now, but for next year, next year, and next year, because these trees are only going to produce more and more and more. It doesn't matter if the water is polluted and dirty. I mean, I would rather eat a fruit that has that was that the tree had to absorb the water from a septic tank, then to filter out that water or to try to attempt to drink that septic water just to stay alive. Wouldn't you? See, so it's and that's the problem because there's like swamps, there's creeks that might have water there, but people are getting sick because they're trying to drink that water, and then it has like parasites. It has a bunch of other things within the water that are getting us sick. But a tree will now naturally filter out the bad stuff and only put in the good into this pouch, which is an orange or apple or melon or watermelon, whatever you could think of. And that it will be good for all of us. Now, futurely speaking, let's assume all this was it's done. It's and there's fruit trees everywhere. Everyone can take as they want, and there's so much that the price of the fruit went down drastically. Instead of buying a 16-ounce cup of fruit for $5.99, you're buying it for $1. And but now we have a problem. What's the problem? The new problems that we would face as a world is pest control, flies and stuff like that are multiplying and growing because of the fruit that falls from the trees and gets rotten and stuff like that. So we would have to educate ourselves and tackle these problems along the way. But it's not in vain, and it's not something that can't be accomplished. And I believe that once those problems arise, we will all be able to tackle those problems professionally and accordingly when the time arises. But right now, in the current, we don't really have that. So we would have to start a movement or organization or something to continue this and really go green. Not just in biofuel, but in the way we eat and all these other things, because everyone knows our the human species is only growing and growing and growing. And from what I hear, maybe it's not true, but because there's regulations on hunting and all that stuff, so we all make a difference. We all make an impact. I'm not saying we don't, but I'm saying that what I'm trying to say is that people are going around saying that we're like taking out everything that's walking except ourselves, that we're slowly taking out the world and the animals within it. But I don't think that's true because there's laws and a bunch of other things, And that's what I'm saying, to restore balance in our world, we need to start thinking ahead and thinking along these lines. Because not only would we get educated in this area of all kinds of fruit trees and vegetables around the world. I mean, just for ourselves educationally, we will also be able to implement this knowledge when we do end up going to Mars and when we do colonize Mars and um, you know the first explorers that go out there, we will be able to um, send them these types of foods for them to eat so we could keep each other plugged and connected and alive and nourished and we could be one even though we're worlds apart, you know, and it's okay to think about everything as a fantasy and to only focus on your own problems and not the problems of humanity. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, go ahead and think in your own small little world and your own in your mind. Go ahead. There's no one stopping you from staying there. And there's also no one stopping you from going out of that. So it's really your choice on what you want to believe or don't want to believe. Or you could allow people around you to influence you and dictate the choices that you're going to appreciate later in life or regret later in life. It's really dependent upon yourself. I say think about your own immediate family. Think about their future. Think about their children's children's future. That's called, like what people say, tunnel vision. You're so focused on that and not on the temporary. Because the temporary is far and gone. You already had fun. You already spent thousands of dollars trying to hang out with your friends and please them. And you're stuck with nothing but your own misery and shame or whatever else. It's time to do something different. We're all like Solomon in a way. We're all like gods in a way. We're trying to find whatever we can and do whatever we can to bring satisfaction and joy, and we're just not finding it. And the answer is God. For who he is and what he represents. Not because of what I say or for what I do or the actions and choices that I make. Because I'm not God. I'm just a human just like everyone else. I'm not a robot. I'm not a law. And just like anyone else, we could all change. We could all make better choices and grow. And we could all forgive. We could all resent. We could all want revenge. We could all want all these other things that have happened in the past. That there's history of movies, you name it. We're no longer in the wild, wild west. There is no no longer, excuse me for my language, but there is no longer a gold rush. There is no longer what you guys think it is or was. I mean, there's talk about people going to the moon and how you could pay to go there. Doesn't that make you wonder? Especially if you're here on Earth and you could barely afford to keep your car running or pay for your house or your rent. Doesn't that make you wonder what's really going on? Doesn't that make you wonder what you've been doing your whole life? Would you personally like to go out of this ball that we've been captivated in our whole lives? To see something completely different? To really experience life as it should be? And not what we think in our own little worlds, group of friends that we all think the same. This group thinks this group's a bitch. This group thinks the same thing, that group's a bitch. We got down, we won. We got down again, we won. We went out, we had fun. Repeat, repeat, repeat. It's a bunch of crap, bogus. But it's okay. It's okay to have fun. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm just saying things to think about. Because there is people right now that are there, whether we like it or not. Whether we approve of it or not, whether we hate or not. I mean, think about it. They're on the lunar surface. They're in the space station. They're in these stations that are being built out in space. There's motels. There's a whole city out there. And they come down and they communicate with us and then they leave. Bringing us hope. Probably. Half the world is walking around with their heads down. I know I am. I know I'm downcasted. I know there's a lot of things that I wish I could do. And who doesn't want to pay for their family members' home and to cure their sicknesses and their diseases and to bring them longer alive? But we're so limited. We can't bring someone back from the dead. It's just impossible. So that's the reality. And I guess in all reality. It starts with um, with ourselves. It all starts with ourselves because how how are we ever going to get along? How are we ever going to grow and evolve if everyone is right except you? If everyone is wrong except you? If what you're trying to explain and the ideas you're trying to present to the world and you keep getting shut down? You know, there's people out there that do really and sincerely care, but you just have to speak to the right people. Because I remember I would have discussions with my cousin, Mario, and we had this startup idea, and we wanted to get an investor for that idea to help us out, and we couldn't find anyone. Not that there wasn't someone out there that would really help us, but we just couldn't find anyone. And I explained it to him like this. I said, it's just like us going to a farmer with this tech idea and pitching the idea to him. Obviously, the farmer has no idea, has no understanding of the tech other than what that person is given. Like us, like with our phones, that's all we know is phone. Push buttons, you know, like little children, you know. So what I did, what I told them was, you know, as in the same manner, we're going to these people, and maybe we're talking to the wrong people, and obviously we were, because we never got the funding that we needed to start the business that we wanted to start, to not only capitalize in in the in like the Facebook movement, but also in the business industry beyond um, that business, um, Microsoft, beyond all that. Not to have a lot of trophies behind me or behind us, not so we could boast, but to really bring real accomplishments to people's lives and to really make a difference in people's lives. And I'm not talking about anything negative here. I'm not saying that the businesses and organizations are doing a horrible job and we're the only ones that can make a difference. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we could all make a difference. And we were going to help every single business out there become better. Because we were going to believe in every single business, regardless of how stupid and dumb or immature it was or is. You see? So that we were going to bring unity and power to that. And with that, we were going to empower one another beyond our wildest dreams to the point that we would have been beyond time. But not entirely. But mentally, we would have all been there. And it's never too late. Because if you think about it, that's really giving someone a future and a hope. Because if you think about it, right now, the most successful people are not thinking about today. Well, they're living the now, the today, but they're thinking about their next concert. When is their next concert? It's not today, it's not right now. Maybe it is. But when is their next one? They're thinking 2020, January. They're thinking July 2020. You know, all these car manufacturers and companies, they're thinking about their newest models they're going to be releasing for 2020. They're thinking about the future. Their mind's already there. They can see it. They could probably already see what they're going to be introducing for 2020 to 2021. TV shows, episodes. This new movie's gonna come out. When? What time? This new episode's gonna come out. See, and these are all successful people. See, so there's a lot of information and a lot of black holes we could get into, and a lot of categories that we could get into and discuss. But it's just impossible for me to go into every single one of them and talk to the whole world about them. And then for me to get into every single one of them, it would require lifetimes, which I don't have time for all that. You know? And that's why there is the belief, and the belief is that we could all do this. We could all aspire to this, and we could all have an input. And we do, because your voice matters, and you matter as a person, just like anyone else in the world. That's true religion. That's true love in its purest form. And I thank God for everything that people before us did. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the things that we have today. We wouldn't be so ungrateful for the things we have today. Because we are. Drastically. We're talking about our futures. We're talking about our lives. And all along, I knew about all this. So it's no surprise that I have all these demons attacking me. But you see, God put me in a hibernation mode, for a purpose, for a reason. Then he decides to take me out of that because it's time. Then I realized that my in my temporary life, my window is so small, and the people that I love are slowly leaving with the wind. And my hopes and my desires are going with that as well, with the wind. But it's okay because it's just my desires. And I guess I thank God for the Bible because I'm able to see that in Jesus. He was able to put our interests before his own. Maybe because he's seen how it would affect us here in the now and then in the future. Millions of years from now. Because remember, we're not going to die. We're going to continue to live forever. We're really immortal beings. In a temporary shell that we're going to grow out of and then go into another one, grow out of that, so on. That's why he didn't care to lay down his life. That's why the enemy got so upset, whoever the enemy is. But maybe it was just arrogant people. Maybe it was just arrogance. Maybe it was just hatred. Because think about it. What happened in the past when someone had a different observation, different outlook in life? If they believed in other religion besides everyone else's, they would get burned. They would get burned in the stake, on the stake. Witchcraft, anything. And then we started evolving from that and outside of that. And I've seen a movie on this. There's a bunch of stuff you guys could search on Google. And we started growing out of this. And then there's education systems, there's laws, there's authorities, there's police, there's special agents. And then there's so much trying to get us to move in that direction, whether we resist it or not, you know. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't even have any idea that is there, and there's a bunch of organizations that stand up for people's rights and stuff like that as well. So you see, there's a lot more. We have evolved. We have evolved greatly, and we're no longer stuck in the past. We have grown out from that, and thank God for technology. Thank God for the internet. Thank God for all this stuff, because if it wasn't for this, who knows? I would have probably been dead a long time ago. because and then you guys as well. Because think about it. That's the only reason we're even here on Earth right now, and we have why people haven't killed one another, and why people can't get away with crime as easily as in the Western days. Because think about it. Back then, that's all you would know about a person. You would just meet someone. Oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing great, 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 great. Oh, who are you? Oh, I'm the celebrity of this town over here, in this region over here. Oh, really? I'm the celebrity of this region over here. What do you do? I don't know. What the hell do you do? And then they get to know each other. And that's in a real life basis. Now we could do that on the internet. So now when you run into one another, oh, you recognize that person immediately. So you know what they're about. You know what they do. They know what they represent. You know everything. And thank God he knows every single thing about you and everything that you have searched for, everything that you know, everything in your history, everything that you have studied, all your accomplishments, your education level, where school you went to, where you were raised, your parents' history, your relatives' history, everyone you're in contact with, where you've been last year, what you spent your money on last year, the whole 9 yards. It's all there. Let's thank God for that. Because that's all we have right now. And it's only going to grow so much more. So much more. God is good. That's all I can say. And for those that don't believe in God, well, humanity is good and the world is good. And if you don't believe that, then you need some counseling, buddy. And it's okay. We all have our um, moments in life. You know, we all have this fluctuating scale that we all have been through in life. And that's what the Bible was talking about. When we could relate to one another's afflictions and then comfort one another when we see someone going through a familiar struggle that we once walked through or gone through, however you want to look at it. And it's all thanks to technology. God is alive. God is not dead. God is doing great things. He's going to continue to do great things in and through us, outside of us, with or without us. You don't believe me? People have gone, lived and gone. They've lived and gone. They're no longer with us, but yet their lives still make an impact in our lives, whether positively or negatively. That was all dependent on that person. Like, what are you going to do? What kind of legacy are you going to leave behind? You're so worried about someone else's legacy. You're just reading history, buddy. That's all you're doing. It's history. Forget about it. Start making history. Start making an impact on the lives around you. It's never too late to change. It's never too late for growth. It's never too late. I mean, who are we after all? To have everything just given to us on the table. We haven't made so much that we have maids serving us. Obviously for a cost, but we all do it once in a while. We're all living like kings and queens. There's nothing wrong with that. Go to Red Robin, any restaurant you could think of around you in your community, whatever, and they go and they serve you, they treat you good, and you give them money. Because that's who we are. We're God's daughters. We're God's sons. We're God's people. We're God's family. And he says that we are the church. All of us are. And there's no one within it that's perfect and that's more greater than the other. We are all sinful. We have all fallen short of the glory of God. But are we going to let that stop us? Are we going to let that contradict our lives and our lifestyles and the things that God placed us here to do? The answer to that is no. We can't. We might as well just bury ourselves in the fucking ground. You know, and again, excuse me for my language, and I'm trying to not cuss. But that's the reality of it. Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to just sit there and like everyone else, or like the majority of the people, or so it seems? Well, I'm sorry, but you guys just noticed that in my life. Just proactively speaking and inactively moving or functioning. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't have money like you have to do things. And if I did, I thought of many reasons and ways to go about certain things if that time ever arose within my life, my own life. So I'm highly prepared. The Bible says be prepared in season and out of season. You know, so even if you think that you're not no one special or whatever, you know, think of yourself that way. Like they say, act it until you become it. Doesn't matter. If that's what you believe, people could think anything they want about you, but that's what you really believe. That's what you're going to be, whether they like it or not, because that's the way that you that's the way that you want to live your life, whether people like it or not. And you could take any subject on that, any category, anything. Now, there is those dreamy people. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Especially with today's day and age. You just never know who's going to view your life and who's going to impact you and love on you and support you. You just never know. So you personally have to just believe in yourself when there is no belief. When everyone around you is doubting, you just have to keep on believing. Because I keep stressing this, but we're all going to eventually pass away. And this video here, this life that we're living, is just history. And hopefully, we all made a difference to our world that we live in. And we can look 100 years from now into our world, and we can see it flourishable, growing, nice, beautiful fruit trees and vegetables, and not look into it 100 years from now and seeing disaster and looking at it like we would Mars, just dry and parched, with no trees whatsoever. Especially from a space overview type of view. Because right now we can look at Earth and we see a lot. That's why I say it all starts with us individually. We could all make a difference. It's never too late. And as a matter of fact, there's people that have killed people. They go to death row. Preachers and pastors, they go in there and they speak to them and they give their lives to God and turn their whole lives around. It's never too late. I remember a story. It's not really a story, it was facts. Someone went into prison on purpose. They purposely got charges filed against them so they could purposely go into jail to kill someone. The person they wanted to kill was someone that had hurt one of their family members. But while incarcerated, that person found God, or God found that person. That man, that person gave his life to God. And he's living for God right now. And will always live for God. Because God came through, and now we're in time of need. That's power. Anyways, I will continue doing what I do And but I am fearful that this this will only grow within me more and more. I don't know if I should allow it to stress me out, or if I'm going to continue talking about it until an evil group rises against me and smittens me, like they did Martin Luther King and his family, and a bunch of other people in the past who spoke up for people's rights and wanted to bring change, even though people weren't ready for it. I just don't know the answers to these questions, but they're always there. And I think they're getting stronger and stronger, stronger every single day. They just started off like ideas. I started off honestly like greedy, greedy, greedy little leprechaun. Just wanted it all for myself. And God took everything from me. Almost my life. And I thank Him for that. Because now, although I'm still stressed out, I don't desire riches and wealth solely for myself, but for the rest of the world, for everyone, for true, healthy, universal love and just making an impact on everyone's life. And I guess it's not me. It's not me. That's God in me. That's God in and through me. That's God manipulating me. That's God getting a hold of me. That's God taking me hostage with His love. I can't contain it, but to share it. God is beyond any physical needs. Yet He still wants to provide that for us. One way or the other. And He's working through me. And He wants me to just share this. Whether it makes an impact or not. Whether people take it to heart or not. whether people would apply it or not. I guess I did my job. And my job was to simply share this stuff with the world and not to worry about it. Not to worry about what's going on. Is this happening? Is this happening? If it's not, why and when? Because all these thoughts could come in and just torment me further. But I would not allow these thoughts to prevent me from speaking what I believe and what's in my heart. Sometimes I'm lost. Wondering many things. But God just told me, don't worry about anything. So I don't. It's that simple. And at first, it was very, very difficult because I wanted it all for me. I wanted the fame, I wanted the glory, I wanted the money, I wanted this, I wanted that. And if I couldn't have it, then no one else could. So I chose not to speak about it. I chose to hoard it within myself, that it polluted me so that it just radiated outside of me. Death. In and through me, outside of me. Towering over me. It just beat me up verbally. I didn't know what to do. But I fought and fought and fought. And I'm still fighting. Still fighting. And I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up on anyone. I'm not going to give up on myself. And I'm not going to give up on anyone. Now, seeing someone suffering. They were suffering so much that no one could help them. And by them, I mean he or she. No one. They went to the hospital. No help. They went to the internet. No help. They went to God. No help. No help from anyone. Their symptoms only grew stronger and stronger. All they wanted was peace. And the pain. And no one. Was able to take that away. So they committed suicide. Now you tell me who's crazy. You tell me. I don't want that. Not even on my enemies. Just, it's too much going on. Honestly. Too much. And I guess we can only help each other as much as we're able. As much as we have evolved. That doesn't mean that there's not a solution or a problem that can't be fixed with a solution. Because there is. We just have to find it. We have to keep researching. We all have to work together. Every single one of us. So it bothers me when I'm just playing video games or watching TV. But then that's what I've been doing for the last few years. It's just that. So there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. There's nothing wrong with sleep. I actually encourage all this. Now there is time, like I said, when I was placed in hibernation mode. And it is there when my life was at a halt. I ceased to live. I only continue living to observe, to listen, to speak only if I was spoken to. Acting as a witness. For what? I always thought, for what? Maybe it was for all this. I really don't know. And like I said, maybe all this is, maybe I'm making it all up. Maybe like when I started this video, maybe I'm just trying to become someone that I'm not, or I'm thinking of myself too highly than I ought. Like Proverbs 3:7 says, oh no, it's not Proverbs 3:7. Proverbs 3, let's look that up. It says, my son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my command in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you prosperity. Let love and remember, this is probably a king. This is like the president writing to you. This is God writing to you, his son, his daughter, you as a person. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and men. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke. Because the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father, the son he delights in. Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding, for she is more profitable than silver, and yields better returns than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand. In her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Those who lay hold of her will be blessed. By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundations. By understanding he set the heavens in place. By his knowledge the deeps were divided, and the clouds let dew drop the dew. My son, preserve sound judgment and discernment. Do not let them out of your sight. They will be life for you and an ornament to grace your neck. Then you will go on your way in safety, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster or of the ruin that overtakes the wicked. For the Lord will be your confidence, and he will or he and will keep your foot from being snared. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I'll give it tomorrow, when you now have it with you. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Do not envy a violent man or choose any of his ways. For the Lord detests a perverse man, but takes the upright into his confidence. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He mocks proud mockers, but gives grace to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools he holds up to shame. Anyway, so I thought that was awesome, and yeah, there's a lot of videos here that you guys could watch online um, for yourselves. Just do a quick search. This is what I did for hours on hours upon hours. See, look at this right here. This this here is these are cells, battery cells, each one, and you'll see that it produces electricity. See, 4.74 volts of electricity being produced almost freely, and there's that verse that says, don't cast your wisdom before swine, they'll trample over it. It says, do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their foot and churn and tear you to pieces. Do not waste what is holy on people who are unholy. Don't throw your pearls to pigs. They will trample their pearls and turn and attack you. You know, someone told me before not to speak out of turn, not to not to told me not to speak out of turn. You know, so that's my goal. You know, if it wasn't for this internet stuff, what would people conclude? You know, forget this guy. We got everything he had spoken of, so we could eliminate him, and we could do this our damn selves without him. Just the idea guy, right? That's all I am. Mega mind. There's a few pearls. I mean, I don't know. But thank God for the internet, because now everything's recorded. And not just that, but you don't have to keep repeating yourself over and 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 over again. Just once, please. I could have gone back 10 times and listened to that just by going back. There's no reason to repeat yourself. There's no reason for anyone to preach anything, because the Bible says, let him continue to do good, to continue in good. Let him that continues in evil, to continue in evil. It's Revelation. Anyways, like I said, you know, I'm just one person. Anyways, God bless everyone. Oh, this guy's so funny. Anyways, God bless everyone. Peace.